Consider this new Wyoming business that started as a student's entry in an entrepreneurship competition and now has customers worldwide. Bright Agrotech specializes in what is commonly known as vertical farming. Bright Agrotech CEO Nate Story joins our Patrick Wolfenbarger to share his success story.
Welcome, Nate. Tell us about Bright Agrotech.
Bright Agrotech is a agricultural technology company based here in Laramie, and we manufacture vertical plant production equipment, so hydroponic equipment that's towers for growing plants in, essentially, and they are oriented vertically as opposed to horizontally. And in addition to that, in the last few years, we've diversified more and more and got into more the business side of things, helping small farmers get set up and helping them run their businesses, essentially. So helping them become better business people.
So this is not only for hobbyists, people who want to have some plants to grow in their homes, but productive agriculture as well.
Yeah, that's right. So when we first got started, we really focused on home and hobby producers. So people gardening in their backyards, they're passionate, they're hobbyists. It was a very small market, a very niche market. It's a great market to try and get going in with new technology. And, but it has its limits. So we kind of hit our limits with that market, and we scaled up into kind of the small commercial markets. And we've kind of just followed that pattern where we occupy a market and then scale and occupy and scale and just kind of keep that going.
How did you get the idea for Bright Agrotech?
I was a student and I was working on this stuff, thinking about how we can use space more efficiently. In Wyoming, you know, our heating and cooling costs, well, heating specifically, is very, very high for greenhouses. And so that kind of got me thinking, you know, how can we grow volumetrically as opposed to on a single plane in order to get more out of our greenhouse space? So it's basically an energy efficiency measure. And that's kind of what got me started. And I kind of worked on that tech while I was here at the University of Wyoming. I graduated and I got together with a couple of friends and said, let's build a company around this thing. And so we founded Bright Agrotech. Actually, I was still in school. Not the smartest thing, trying to write a dissertation and starting a business at the same time, but we started the company and we've been growing it since.
So how does a startup get started?
In our case, you know, I was able to, I had a little bit of money saved, so I was able to kind of leverage that in order to buy some initial inventory, and then we just worked really hard at building a business around that, and just sold and hustled.
I know that you started out with like the Wyoming Business Technology Center.
Yes.
And any other types of state or local or private help that your company received while you're starting?
Well, of course, you know, it goes back to the core product. So, you know, I began working on this technology while I was a student. So I was here, I was on scholarships for the most part, and in the Department of Plant Sciences in the College of Agriculture, working with amazing people, generous people. And so the technology itself, I really can say, you know, while I invented it, while I developed it, so much of the technology itself really, you know, that was funded. A lot of that came through the university. So it started at the university, and it was developed by the university. While I was there, it was patented through the university. So the initial patent protections happened through UW. And you know, after that, we won the 10K here, so that was part of our development, of course. The 10K competition through the College of Business in partnership with the WTBC, and then we got office space in the WTBC, which is, you know, a state-sponsored business incubator essentially, and they were instrumental. The WTBC was just amazing help. Wyoming is kind of a hard place to start a business, and especially tech business, because we're really removed from the rest of the world. And so we don't have a lot of the resources that are available to you if you're, say, in Silicon Valley or Boston, Massachusetts, or even Boulder, Colorado. It's just a very different environment. And it's not the kind of environment that is super startup kind of focused, right? We have a little bit of a different culture. And so getting a business like that going here can be very difficult. But the WTBC, they have staff over there that we consulted with, and we still consult with. They're still helping train my executive staff. They're just amazing people, and they were instrumental in keeping us going. I wouldn't say that we wouldn't exist without them, but we certainly would not be where we're at now without the WTBC.
So how have you grown your business?
Starting in very small niche markets with passionate people requires that we're interacting with them personally, and we're passionate ourselves about the products that we create and how we're helping people to use them. And so that was kind of the nucleus for kind of the ethos or the philosophy behind our marketing, behind our growth, behind how we wanted to grow and develop as a company. And so that was kind of the nucleus, and building on that, we really came into focus on social media. There's nothing like it. We've never lived in an age before where it was easier to get your message out to the rest of the world. So we focused in on YouTube. We started doing informational videos. We started giving away for free the information that everyone else was charging for. And we gave away really high quality information, stuff that was useful to people and that helped us start to forge a relationship. So we did that, and we scaled it, and we scaled it, and we scaled it. And we built kind of a base of advocacy, so customers that loved our products, that loved us, that we interacted with personally. We talked to them, we met with them. And we just kind of started in a very slow and personal way to build a customer base. And it's amazing how YouTube now reaches across international borders. Within a year or two, we started getting international orders and people that were interested in licensing the technology, consulting, distributing, that kind of thing. And interestingly enough, when your nucleus is sound, when you're doing things for the right reasons, you attract people who are also doing things for the right reasons.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.